For days after my surgery, I sat slouched by the hospital window, groggy from the painkillers, blinking against the harsh noon sunlight pouring through the glass. My body ached, my vision blurred, but then I saw something so sharp, so brutal, that it sliced through the haze like a scalpel. Down in the parking lot, in plain sight, stood my wife and my brother, kissing, not a polite farewell, not a moment of innocent closeness, a full, shameless kiss, her fingers tangled in his mouth on hers, midday, public, like teenagers with no one to answer to. That moment didn't break me. It crystallized everything, cleared the fog, burned through the last remnants of illusion. I built my life with both of them stitched into it. Sarah, my wife of 8 years, with a sweet laugh and soft eyes, who turned out to be a dagger in a velvet sheath. And Mark, my younger brother, my blood, the kid I taught to tie a tie, bailed out of college debt, covered for when he got drunk and scared. 2 years ago, he moved into our home. Just until I get back on my feet, he said. I gave him everything, a room, my trust, my tools, and apparently my wife. Looking back, the signs were neon bright. The way she laughed too hard at his jokes. How her phone always faced down when I walked into the room. How Mark suddenly stopped dating, stopped leaving the house, started becoming part of the furniture. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was tired, recovering, overthinking. But my instincts had been screaming for months. I just hadn't wanted to listen. That kiss outside my window flipped the switch. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't even blink. I watched, and then I began planning. Because revenge, when done right, is a slow-cooked meal, served cold, plated beautifully, with garnishes of precision and silence. First, I let them believe I was still weak, still drugged, foggy, oblivious. Mark kept showing up, grinning, bringing flowers and greasy burgers. Sarah sat beside my bed, tucking blankets, brushing hair from my forehead, whispering if I needed anything. Every touch from her felt like acid. Every cheerful update from him felt like poison laced with sugar. At night, I wrote. I sketched out everything. Finances, insurance policies, passwords, the deed to the house. Not just a plan to hurt them, but a full transformation. I wasn't going to fight. I was going to disappear the version of me they thought they had betrayed. 2 weeks after I returned home, I installed cameras, tiny, undetectable. One in the hallway, one in the living room, one in the guest room, where Mark still lived, like a cockroach in silk sheets. Then I bought a burner phone. Used it to hire a private investigator, an old friend of my cousin's who specialized in cheating spouses and hidden truths. I told him what to look for. He didn't take long. A week later, he handed me a manila folder, so thick it felt like it should come with a warning label. Photos, hotel receipts, phone logs, screenshots, pages and pages of betrayal. And at the center of it, Sarah's message to Mark. I wish he'd just die already. And Mark's reply, soon, just act normal. They weren't just cheating. They were waiting. So I gave them what they wanted, played along like a puppet on strings. I told Sarah I wanted to update our will just in case something happened. Told Mark I was thinking about selling the house, moving somewhere quieter. They nodded a little too eagerly. Sarah even helped me review the documents. Mark drove me to a lawyer's office. They thought they were being clever. They had no idea they were signing the wrong version, because I'd already rewritten everything. Twice. One version for them to see, one for the court to enforce. The real paperwork transferred everything. House, car, savings to my sister. The only person in my family who never lied to me. Ironclad. Witness. Filed. Sealed. I saved the final blow for our anniversary. Sarah wore red, her favorite lipstick, the dress she once had made her feel invincible. She said she had a surprise dinner planned. I smiled. So, did I? Mark was already at the restaurant when we arrived. Candles flickered. Wine sparkled in their glasses. The smiles were wide and fake. We toasted. I stood up, reached into my coat, and pulled out the folder from the PI. Dropped it onto the white tablecloth with a soft thud. Their faces cracked instantly. Sarah opened it with fingers that couldn't stop trembling. Mark's mouth twitched. He tried to speak. I shut him up with a single look. Then I turned my phone around and pressed play. Sarah's voice whispered from the speakers, sickly sweet and soaked in malice. If we just wait a little longer, it's all ours. Mark's reply, I could be patient. He trusts us. The restaurant went still. Nearby tables fell silent. Eyes widened. I leaned forward, voice calm, steel under velvet. You should both leave now. The house isn't yours. The money's gone. Your names were never on anything. Sarah's eyes went wide. Wait, what? I changed it all 2 months ago. While you were too busy pretending to love me. Mark lunged slightly, grabbing my arm. You're bluffing. I locked eyes with him. Try me? The fallout was swift and surgical. Mark returned home that night to find all his belongings boxed neatly on the porch. The locks had been changed. His key was useless. Sarah? She got served divorce papers the next morning. Grounds. Infidelity, malicious intent, supported by evidence that didn't just speak. It sang. Every recording, every photo, every message, neatly indexed. She tried to call, begged. I made a mistake. No, I said, you made a decision. They turned on each other instantly. Mark told everyone Sarah seduced him, that she preyed on his vulnerability. Sarah swore Mark manipulated her while I was sick, that she never meant for her to go that far. But none of that mattered. I'd already shown the truth. Clean, sharp, undeniable. It's been 6 months now. The house is quiet. The air feels lighter. I sleep like I used before all the lies. Some nights I sit by that same window, sip my coffee, and watch the empty street. I still remember that kiss. How bold it was. How stupid. They thought I'd break, that I'd vanish. But I don't vanish. I wait. I watch. I strike. And when I do, I make damn sure to never forget. Because betrayal is loud. But revenge is silent and permanent.